a story time. Now, we normally wait until after guests, but I think that this might be particularly entertaining. So we're going to read a piece from the Kente Cloth Tales, an anthology of tone deafness. So Marcel and Margaret, we have various books, and then there's like excerpts from them. So, and Peter does a really good radio voice. So this is an excerpt from the Kente Cloth Tales.
So without further ado, once upon a time, there was a vapid, feckless mayor. You may have heard of him. He was chosen as a Manchurian candidate, puppeteered by the darkest Sith Lord in the land. The mayor, Pete, was meritlessly promoted to a cabinet position in the hope of propping him up for the 2024 election. When asked about the shortage of milk for the littlest tykes in the land, he smugly responded, "Let them drink water." The end.
Did he seriously say that?
The smug son of a bitch.
Oh,
we all know.
Nothing is beyond belief nowadays.
No. I was going to say, no, he didn't actually say that, but he did. Okay.
This smug son of a bitch, who we all know is Biden's heir apparent, they're making it pretty clear now that if he doesn't run in 24, this is the one they're going to prop as hard as possible.
Mayo Pete.
So he goes on national TV yesterday and says that the government should not make baby formula even in a national crisis because we are a capitalist nation.
Well, so he said that. That's even worse than let them drink water.
That's what he said. And so I, of course,
but Marcel, he did it in a very nice way.
So I, of course, have to then take his face and superimpose it over Marie Antoinette because I can't think of anything. But how tone deaf, like given where we are right now, given what is going on, and just, and this is who the Democrats are going to put up. Like,
can I say something real quick? People talk about the MAGA cult, you know, the Trumpers. We have the MAGA cult on the Democratic side too, where it doesn't matter how bad they are, people will defend them. And I deal with that for some of the black people in my district. Thank God they are a minority, but they are here. You would think this party has done something for us. You would think that black Americans don't have the least amount of wealth, where the average American family, if you take out black Americans, has $122,000 in wealth. Black Americans at $24,000 and going down. We own only 1 million acres of rural land, where we used to own 16 million, but most of it has been stolen. And this party hasn't written a piece of legislation to do anything about that, and some will defend them to the death. Now, this is the same government that when the airline industry was in danger during the pandemic, they bailed them out with no problems. They bailed out the auto industry with no problem. The bacon industry with no problem. They bailed out these large corporations with no problem. They canceled their debt. But when Americans, and this one, I don't care if you white, black, or gold, but when Americans, babies, need formula, they say, oh, no, that's a bridge too far. But Ukrainians can get trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. You know what? This is not like Marie Antoinette, because at least the French had the guts to stand up and say, okay, get rid of all of them. We need to be more like the French, because the French know how to get rid of bad leaders. Somehow we forgot how.
We need yellow vests, man.
It's funny to me in defending capitalism, he put his finger on the problem. The problem is capitalism, baby. There's a handful, because it's not profitable. So there's only a handful of companies. One of them had a contaminated plant, which a whistleblower is the one who had to tell the FDA. So the problem is capitalism. It's one of those things that ought to, in my humble opinion, and baby formula is expensive. They lock it up in stores.
Yep.
No, just give it to people. Even the WIC program, they have these contracts, and it's a monopoly for the few companies that still make it. So he actually told on the system when he made that comment. And this is what they do. They cut off the narrative. It's like, so you can't ever talk about an alternative, even when the system fails so badly. Oh, we have a capitalist system we can't talk about, which fails in what does capitalism succeed at anymore? Oh, everybody has housing? No. Oh, people can buy housing? No. Hedge funds are buying up houses. People can't even buy them. People have medical debt. That word just makes me crazy. Medical debt? Almost $2 trillion of student loan debt. but capitalism is the problem. And they don't even want to talk about reforming. They don't want to talk about anything other than letting the American oligarchs run rampant and do whatever they want at our expense.
It's interesting that you say that.
The hypocrisy is glaring. Like, okay, I haven't said much about the student loan thing, but I'm like, to me, some things are not even a debate. Like Medicare for all, tuition-free college, university, like those things should not even be a debate to me. But let's say this guy, this segregationist, I call him, he's sitting there, acting like canceling student loan debt is a bridge too far. But you could have done that several times over by the amount of money and investment and equipment we've sent to Ukraine.
Yeah, no, the money is there. That's never the issue. That's just sort of like the great white lie, right? Like that's this fiction that isn't really a thing. And so that's just how they use to kind of keep everybody in line. Like, well, we can't afford that. How are you going to pay for it? And I think that this is really interesting. And I am, whenever I start to talk like this, people are like, oh, you're sounding like a socialist or a communist or whatever label somebody's using. And the truth is, I don't really have a problem with capitalism for non-essential items. I don't have a problem. If somebody invents some useless widget and people want to pay $100 for a fidget spinner and somebody can get rich off of that, have at it, man. I don't care. But like healthcare, education, corrections should never be on the table.
Human necessities, exactly.
And absolutely. And formula is, to me, I mean, it doesn't fall under pharmaceuticals, but it kind of should, and it should be included just like pharmaceuticals should be included. So, I mean, I just think certain things, staples, should not be. But like, yeah, if somebody wants to make a lot of money, making some superfluous thing that rich people want to go and buy, fine, have at it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Even advocating for a hybrid system, which is a combination of capitalism and socialism, you get such drastic pushback.
It's ridiculous.
Even as bad as things are right now, I mean, honestly, it really is the Titanic, and they're just going down with the ship. Like they don't care. I mean, they know how people suffer.
They don't care. They have made clear that this is as you use your expression, this is a bridge. Everything's a bridge too far. Anything that helps us. And Biden's his campaign promise about student loan debts was something very minor. It was like $10,000. He hasn't done anything, nothing.
Even do that.
And I can't recall a president who lied so much during his campaign. And that's the sinister thing. They know what people want. They know what people want because that's what they talk about when they're running for office. But we've got to stop the blue no matter who. And people, to your point, Marcel, Democrats are the most indoctrinated people. And all you have to do is raise the Trump boogeyman or something else. And
exactly,
people who know what they need will suddenly say, oh, but the Republicans will get in. Well, look at Roe v. Wade. Well, it was always vote for them. They'll protect abortion rights. Well, no, they didn't. So, and they could have with legislation.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.